So coming to the front of your mat, having your feet hip width apart, toes in front of the heels. Close the eyes, roll the shoulders up towards the ears, back down towards the hips. Turn the palms forward, let the arms relax. Lift all 10 toes away from the floor, bring them down from the little toe through to the big toe. Feel the weight in the toes, the ball of the foot, and then feel the weight in the heel of the foot also. And just take a moment just to feel the grounding of the feet, not rocking too far to the outside edges or the inside edges, just finding that centre space in the middle. Take a breath in, open the eyes, bring the hands up towards the ceiling. As you breathe out, start to fold from the hips. As you start to bend the knees, bringing the hands towards the floor. And then just let the chest sink over those thighs. Take a hold of the elbows. Just have a little movement of those elbows, maybe in rotation around in a circle, and then the opposite direction. And then just let the arms become heavy and slowly let that body curl back up through that spine, one vertebra at a time, all the way back up to standing, and roll the shoulders back. Breath in, bring those hands back up to the ceiling again. As you breathe out, bend in the knees, fold from the hips, bring the hands down towards the floor, let the head hang. Bring hold of each elbow, opposite hands, and just make circles in one direction. Make circles the other way. And then release those arms to be heavy, slowly curl up through that spine, one vertebra at a time, starting to straighten the legs as you come back up to standing. Bring the hands back up to the ceiling, this time interlace the fingers. Then let the shoulders relax, lengthen the arms, lean over to the right side, push into that left foot, tucking the tailbone under, lifting the lower belly up so we don't dump into that lower back. Push into that left foot as much as you can. Breath in comes back to a centre space, and then take those hands over to the left, push into that right foot, keep that pelvis in line with the heels and the knees, so we don't push those hips out to the right. We're just taking the flexion, lateral flexion to the left from the waist. Come back to the centre, then bring the hands up towards the ceiling, point through the fingers, bring your left hand forward, your right hand back, rotate to the right, and turn and twist from the waist. Try and keep the hips facing forward. Relax the shoulders, lengthen the arms. Come back to centre, both hands come to the ceiling, and then take it the opposite direction, still keeping those hips facing forward, shoulders turn to the left. Try not to let that left hip follow. Keep it holding forward so we get that oblique contraction as we turn from the waist. Bring those hands back up to the ceiling. On your out breath, bring the arms to a T shape, and then just start to fold from the hips as you bring yourself into that L-shaped position with the legs and the torso, holding it with the strength of the back. Try not to arch the back, keep everything in one nice long line. And then let the hands drop to the floor, let the head hang heavy, maybe bend the knees a little bit. If you can straighten the legs here with the hands touching the floor or the ankles, straighten through the legs. Your breath in comes up to a half lift, place the hands on the shins, straighten through the back, straighten through the legs. Then on your out breath, fold back over those thighs, bend the knees, bring that seat quite low, bring the weight into the heels, bring the hands to the chest, lift the chest away from the thighs and tuck that tailbone under, lift the lower belly up, expand the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together, finding that chair position, sinking the hips as low as you can take them, keeping the knees in line, the toes in line, holding this space just for another breath. Your next breath in, reach up with the arms, straighten through the legs. On your out breath, fold from the hips, bring the hands to wherever they reach, keeping the legs as straight as you can, let the head hang. Breath in comes back to a half lift. Hands on the shins, straighten the back, straighten the legs. And then let that body fold back over. Bend the knees, bring the seats low. Bring the hands to the chest. Lift the chest away from those thighs, keeping those hips low, lower belly lift, tuck of the tailbone. This time, if you wish to include the arms, reach up with the hands, relax through the shoulders. Try and use that shoulder strength though to lift those arms by the sides of the ears, straightening the arms with the triceps, reaching as high as you can with the fingertips, pushing down into the heels, feather-like touch through those toes. Then bring the hands back to the chest, reach up with the hands, send them back up to the ceiling. On your out breath, bring the hands out to the side, then down towards the floor, and let the head hang. Breath in, come up to a half lift, place the hands on the shins and straighten through the back. Breath out, let that body fold over those legs. Take a bend into the knees, come up onto the toes, and bring the seats towards the heels. Find yourself in a balancing position, bringing the hands to the chest, palms together, holding it in this space for a couple of breaths. Then bring the seat towards the floor, bring the heels to the front, push the heels away, toes back towards the shins. Take a bend into your right knee and bring that right foot over the left thigh, left toes back to the shins. Bring the left arm around to hug the right knee. Bring the right hand behind. Breathe in, elongate, lift up through the crown of the head. Breathe out and find some rotation through the waist. The right shoulder squeezes back, the left shoulder squeezes around, and you maybe take the gaze to the back of the root. Left toes are active, drawing back towards the shins. And we push into the sole of that right foot on the outside of that left thigh. Turn those shoulders back forward. Straighten out with that right leg. Then take a bend into your left knee. Bring your left foot over your right thigh. Right toes back to the shins. Hug your right arm around the left knee, your left hand behind. Breathe in, find some length. Breathe out, find some rotation. Squeezing that left thigh in towards you, hugging it with that right arm. Left shoulder back, right shoulder around. Maybe gaze towards the back of the room if the neck's comfortable to do so. Easy breaths in and long breaths out. Bring those shoulders back forward. Straighten out both legs. Have a little paddle of the legs. Then take a bend into your right knee. Let the right knee drop out to the side, sole of the right foot into the left thigh. Remove the flesh from under the sit bones. Reach up with the hands, reach up through the waist. Then as you breathe out, fold over that left leg, bring the hands to wherever they reach. It may be the shins, the ankles, the feet. Just allow that body to fold over that left straight leg. And try and engage the upper thigh, pushing that left thigh into the mat. Breathing into that space. Then walk those hands back up that left leg. Bring your right leg back to meet the left. Then take a bend into your left knee. Let the left knee drop out to the side. Sole of that left foot into that right thigh. Remove the flesh from under that right sit bone. Reach up with the arms and then fold from the hips, bringing those hands to wherever they reach. Shins, ankles outside of the feet or the floor. Elongate, inhale. Breathe out on your exhale and just let that body fold over that leg. Easy breaths in, long breaths out. Then start to walk those hands back up that leg. Bring both legs out, straight in front of you. Just give those legs a little paddle. Then take a bend in both knees. Let the knees drop out to the side and the soles of the feet either come together or turn them up towards the ceiling. Use the elbows to push into the side of the thighs and just see whether you can fold a little over those feet with those chests, using the elbows to maybe push those knees into a slightly bigger range of movement. Getting into those inner thighs as we stretch in that space. Just holding here for a couple of breaths, maybe closing the eyes, switching into that internal feeling of that stretch on that inner part of the leg. One more breath. And then bring that torso back up. Find yourself a comfortable seat, either cross-legged or legs out in front. Bring the hands on tops of the thighs. Take a breath in, bring the hands up and over the head, bring the palms together at the top, bring the hands to the chest. Namaste.